Hi everyone, it's Lynn from Finds of Yesterday, and today we are going to do something different and we're going to play a game. It's called What's Sold on eBay. This gives you the opportunity to see pictures and decide which ones you think might sell for the least amount, and we're going to go from the least amount to the largest amount in sales and see what the winner of the day is. So I'm going to put up 4 pictures on the screen, and you're going to choose which one sold for the least amount. They're not in any particular order on the screen, and some of the prices may be very close, so it might be a little bit hard to pick. And these prices are not going to include shipping, so it's just the price that the item sold for. I did have a total of 36 sales this week, and 3 of them were on Mercari. So the items that we're going to have in this game are all from eBay sales. So let's just get started. These are the 4 cheapest items that I sold. And remember, I'm not including shipping in these. So which one of these 4 do you think sold for the least amount of money? And you can kind of guess about how much you think they sold for as well. I'll give you a second to think about it. All right, if you chose the Barbie Mattel brushes, then you are absolutely right. They sold for $8.37 on sale, and I've had them listed since January, and I only paid 10 cents in a big lot of these for them, so I'm not real upset. They sold for less than 10 bucks, but $8.37 is still pretty good return on 10 cents. So which item do you think was next in price? The lowest price of the 3 that are left. If you chose the Wuchi beige bald cap, you are absolutely correct. It sold for $9.71, and that was running on sale. I wanted to try to get rid of my Halloween stuff before Halloween so they didn't sit for another year, and this one did finally sell for $9.71, and I paid 50 cents for it. So it came in a big lot of stuff. I wouldn't have bought it on its own, but I paid 50 cents for it in the end and still made quite a bit on it. So again, $9.71 is the sale price. They paid shipping on top of that, and then I had to pay eBay fees and my shipping out of it. So we'll go through the totals at the end of this. The next item, which one of these 2 do you think sold for the next price up? Well, it happens to be the Vegas pair of jeans. I've picked these up last year, and in June I listed them, and it's been a while. It's been a really long time. It's a year and 4 months. So it was time for them to go, and I think they were on a 40% off sale. So they sold for $9.97 finally, and I'm happy with that. I paid $2 for these pair of jeans. It's not a brand I would pick up today. It was probably not a brand I should have picked up back then, but I didn't know any better back then. This is always a learning process. The longer you do this, the more experience you gain, and you'll learn. You'll still pick up bad things, but it's not that big of a deal. Obviously, the next item was this fisherman's costume, which sold just in time, but I had a problem selling it. I had a lot of people interested, but the problem with it was that the shipping was so much on it because this fishing pole, even though it doesn't look like in this picture, it was really long. So my box was like 26, 28 inches long, and the weight wasn't that bad. It was just in a big box. So I think they paid $17 in shipping just for this costume, but I accepted $10 on best offer just to get rid of it before Thanksgiving or before Halloween. All right, these are the next 4 items. This one up here, as you can see by the little Marlin logo, is a Tommy Bahama polo top. These are some fall beaded picks that you can use in flower arrangements. This next one is a Mattel Barbie, obviously, and a Santa head. This is not a tree topper, it's just a table, it sits on a table. So which one of these four do you think sold for the lowest price? If you chose a Barbie, you are correct at $12.50. I accepted best offer. I think I had her listed at $14.97. So it's still a pretty good sale. The next one, what do you think sold next for the lowest price? It's the Santa head for $12.95. And that sold at regular price. Christmas stuff is selling really well right now. The next one is the Tommy Bahama. I know a lot of you probably would have picked these fall beads, but actually the Tommy Bahama I had on sale because I've had it for 11 months now. And it had taken this long to sell. And I have probably had it on a 30 or 40% off. I think it was a 40% off sale. And it finally sold. And these fall beads sold for $13.95. So you can see a lot of these are kind of in the same price range. So it's kind of hard to pick which ones. How are you doing so far? All right, let's go on to the next four. Okay, this is a table lamp base. Obviously, you can kind of look at the top here and see that the lamp portion was taken out of it. So it's still a nice figurine. And this is a St. Francis figure. It looks like it's hand carved wood, but it's really resin. And he's holding cardinals, which is unusual because he usually holds doves. And this is a little vintage oil lamp style tea light holder. And then these are Lucky Brand jeans. Lucky Brand's a pretty good brand of jeans to sell. But let's see how I did with these four. Which one do you think sold for the least amount of money? The jeans, believe it or not, I finally sold these. I had these listed since November of 2019 and we're in October of 20. So about 11 months they've been listed. I had them on a big sale and they finally sold. I'm having a hard time selling jeans. I don't know what it is. I have not been picking them up lately because I have quite a few and I need to just get rid of what I have. If I see any decent ones out there with bigger name brands at decent prices, I'll pick them up. But I do have a hard time finding decent jeans around here. So out of these three that are left, which one do you think sold for the next price up, for the lowest price out of the three? Well, you'll be surprised with this one because they all three sold for $14.95. So these are in for a tie. The oil lamp sold on a best offer, and the St. Francis statue I had at $14.95 because he did have a broken neck, but they had glued it back on, so he was still, it wasn't real obvious. So it's still a nice statue. And the other one sold for $14.95. I'm not sure if it was on sale or not. It might have been, but I didn't have that long. So I paid $1 for the St. Francis statue. I didn't pay anything for this oil lamp because it came with a whole bunch of other stuff and I sold that all off right away. The Lucky Brand jeans I paid $2 for, and I paid 10 cents for the Victorian lamp base. I posted these this year, where the Lucky Brand jeans I had posted from last year. All right, the next four items. This is a Ralph Lauren Polo corduroy jeans. This is a Eddie Bauer snow pants. This is a Victoria's Secret or pink Fresh and Clean body mist. And this is a Jerry Garcia tie. So which one of these you think sold for the least amount? Drum roll. The tie sold for $16.95. I paid $1 for this Jerry Garcia tie, and I had it listed since November of last year. I've had many offers on it, and I didn't want to take any kind of lowball offer, but then I decided my ties were sitting and not selling, so it was time for me to lower the price on them, and they were on sale, and then they went off sale, and somebody bought it before the next sale started. So they paid full price of $16.95, but that included free shipping. So which one do you think sold next for the next lowest price? The Eddie Bauer snow pants, which I've had since January, and I guess it was getting towards the end of the winter season, so nobody was interested in it. But now that we're leading back into the winter season, it's sold right away, and I paid $1.50 for this, and I did have it on sale for $17.37. The next one, between the jeans and the mist, which one do you think sold for more, or for less? Sorry. The mist sold for $18.95. That was full asking price. And I didn't pay anything for this because my daughter had bought stuff for herself. She moved out and she was cleaning out all of her stuff. And she's like, I never used these. They're all brand new. She gave me a whole bunch of pink Victoria's Secret stuff. So I got that for free. My jeans were the last to sell for $19.95. And I paid $3 for them. All right, the next four items are this Relpo planter doll, and she's probably about 6 inches tall or so. And these are 2 glass angel candle holders. And then I have this Marilyn Monroe puzzle, which is new in the box, and this Beldini sweater cardigan type thing. It almost looks Halloweenish, that they could use it for some type of Halloween costume. So which one of these do you think was the cheapest item? Well, it was the little Relpo planter that I had listed for $25, but I took a best offer of $20, and I paid $3.50 for it. I had up for about a month and a half. So which one do you think is the next cheapest item? If you guessed the angels, you were correct, $20.97. And I listed these back in April, so it's been sitting for about 6 months, and I paid about 60 cents for them and sold them for $20.97. So that's a really good turnaround. So out of the puzzle and the sweater, which one do you think was cheaper? It is the puzzle for $22.45. I paid $2 for this puzzle, and I listed it back in June, so it's been up for about 4 months now. Puzzles are starting to slow down a little bit, but they're still selling. And being brand new, I figured I would have no problem selling it. And obviously the cardigan sweater was the next item, which was $24.95, and I took a best offer on this one. I did not pay anything for this one because a friend had it in her bag of items that she was getting rid of when she was moving. So I listed this back in the beginning of September, so it's only been listed about a little less than 2 months. All right, we have the next four items. This first one is an Echo pressure cooker, and it's vintage. And the next one is a Jim Shore figurine. It says naughty on one side, nice on the other, and you turn him around and he's got a face on the other side. The third one is an Abagoya mug, and if you watched my videos before, you would have seen I just sold one of these recently, so you might have an idea how much these sold for. And then the last one is Puma shoes for women, and if you guessed the mug, you were right on which one was the cheapest. So $25 I took on best offer. I had it listed for $29.95. The other one I sold, I think, for $29.95. So this one doesn't have the little chalk tag on it, but it's still pretty nice mug. Again, it was free to me because it was part of my friend's stuff that she gave me since she was moving. So which one do you think is next? Next cheapest item. It is the Puma shoes. I sold them for $25.95, and that was the asking price. And I paid 25 cents for them at a yard sale. And I couldn't believe she was selling them that cheap. And I only had them listed for a couple weeks. So between the figurine and the pressure cooker, which one do you think is the next cheapest one? It's the pressure cooker. I paid 10 cents for this. I figured because I got it in with a box of other stuff that I bought from an auction, and I didn't really want this. I wouldn't have bid on this, but since I had it, I thought I might as well list it. Otherwise, I was going to donate it. So I'm glad I listed it. I sold it for $26.95, and that was the asking price. And the last one is the Jim Shore figurine. I paid upwards on this. I haven't really seen them much cheaper. I've seen them out and about at yard sales, and people want $15 for them and $10 a piece. I only bought one at the sale, even though she had three of them, where I should have bought all three, but this one was selling for a little bit more than the other two, so it might have been all right anyways with them. I sold it for $29.95 on a best offer, and again, I paid $10 for it. All right, then we have the next 5 items. We have a hand-blown glass fishbowl, which is pretty big. It's about 14 inches. And then we have a geisha girl figurine, which is a really nice size. It's not little, and it's very detailed, very well done. And the middle item is a Columbia women's raincoat. The top right is a Nakona first baseman's mitt. And the last one is a village scene, as you can see, with the lighted houses and some figurines. So which one do you think sold for the cheapest amount? It's the lighted houses. For $32.50 I sold them. And I think I paid about $2.50 because I had a whole box of these that I paid $5 for, and I split them up. And I thought it was just too much with all of them. So I'm glad I did, because I feel like I got more out of them this way, because I sold the other set as well, which is shipping out tomorrow. And this one was $32.50 on best offer. Then the next item, which one do you think sold next, for the next lowest price? Actually, it's both of them. I sold this one for $32.50 as well on best offer. So the Columbia jacket I paid $6.50 for at a Salvation Army, and I don't normally pay over $5 for hardly anything, but this was just such a nice jacket and in really good shape, and it was a Columbia brand, which is a really good brand. And it was my size, and I figured if nobody wanted it, it would go into my collection. So which one do you think is next? It's the fishbowl. This fishbowl sold for $34.95, and I paid 60 cents for it. It was part of a big online auction purchase that I bought, and I would have never bought it on its own just because of the size and how fragile it was. I'm not afraid to ship big things. It's just that this was so fragile, and it made it to the buyer safely, as far as I know, because it's been delivered and they haven't told me that it was broke in shipment. They usually like to do that right away. So I'm pretty happy with what I got out of this for the amount that I paid for it. All right, between the glove and the geisha girl, which one do you think is the cheaper one? And the glove, it is. It's $45. I accepted best offer. I had it at $49.95, and I feel it was worth $50, but right now I'm in a mode of turning things around a lot faster. We'll talk a little bit about that at the end here. So obviously the last one was the geisha girl figurine. It was $69.97, and I paid $13 for this figurine on online auction. It was part of about 5 other items, but I paid upwards for this whole lot. And this one, I figured I paid about $13. So $69.97 from $13 is pretty good. All right, these last items, I sold all 4 of my Bali Novika masks, and 3 of them sold to one guy for $75 a piece, and 1 sold for $84.95. Which one do you think is the $84.95 one? And whichever one that is the winner of the week. You think it's number 1, 2, 3, or 4? Well, here we go. winner of the week is number 2. So these are all worth over $100, but fast turnaround's what I'm looking for right now, and it was still a pretty good profit from an $8 investment on each of them, and I only had them up for about 2 weeks. So that is all we have, and let's do a summary of the week's sales. So I hope you enjoyed playing this. We had $986.07 in net sales. That's the initial price of the item without shipping or anything else added on. It's what the buyer paid for it. And then you add their shipping that they paid, and that's $359.84 for a gross sales of $1,345.91. I have to deduct all my costs. I had to pay out shipping costs of $267.54 plus the cost of the goods, which was $122, and then my eBay fees were $193.12. So my net sales overall was $785.03 for this week. I'm very excited about this because my sales are slowly creeping up, and I'm assuming it's because we're getting into the fourth quarter, and sales usually do go up in the fourth quarter. But also I hope it's because of me listing more and trying to build up my store and get better items. We'll see as the new year arrives. But overall, I thought this was a fun thing to put together. I hope you enjoyed it. It was something different for me doing my normal traditional videos, and I want you to tell me if you enjoyed playing a little bit of a game, and if so, I might do a couple more different types of games in the future. So let me know what you thought, and if you learned anything from the sales of this video. A couple other things I wanted to touch on was that if you notice, there was a lot of best offers that went out this week because I send out best offers every day. So don't be afraid to do that. You don't even have to go down any more than $1 on each item. I think you have to go down 5%. So that's the minimum. So just give it a try. It's certainly not going to hurt. You're not going to lose a whole lot of money. And you might want to try promoted listings. I've been doing a lot more of them at a higher rates right now just to boost sales. All right, and there's a couple other things. Out of 36 sales this month, I sold 7 items that I had posted back in 2019. So I'm slowly trying to get rid of last year's items, and we're in October right now. So it's time for all of them items to go. So I've been running 40% off sales on all the old stuff over like 8 months old. And you might want to try that as well. I have been running like an incremental sale. So 40% on the older stuff, 30% on certain dates, 25%, just depends on how you want to do it. But that's how I'm doing it right now, just to do a test and see how things go. 12 of them 36 items were best offers. So if I did not send best offers out, or if they didn't send me best offers, I probably wouldn't have sold them 12 items. Again, I would stress at least giving that a try. And again, I had 3 of these items that were sold on Mercari that I did not show in this little game here, but I did include them in my weekly sales because they are actually part profit for me. So, all right, that's about it. Thank you for joining me and playing along, and let me know if you like the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and then hit the notifications buttons, because then you'll get notifications next time I put a video out or a new fun game. Thank you. Have a good night.